Hello there guys, Fengferth here, and welcome to Card Hunter. Yeah, so this game is currently in closed beta, and as with all of my first impressions that are in alpha or beta, this is not necessarily the final representation of the final product, so please bear that in mind. Now, Card Hunter, I remember doing a video about this a few months back. I said I was going to be following it, and I said I'll probably be covering it if I got beta access, which is gratefully that I have actually got beta access, which is great. So, what is it? It's kind of a mix between a casual Dungeons and Dragons meets collectible card game meets action RPG. It's a bit of a weird mix, but it works. And there's a few unusual things even there, but for most of it, it works pretty fine. So this is the world map. This is where you actually start right here in the tavern. And in the tavern, you can recruit heroes. Now, you can only have 3 heroes in your party at one time. Now, heroes will level up as you do adventures, which we are going to be hopefully showing you very soon. Also, there's other things like access your collection. This is like your stash area. You can also visit shops. Shops have items that you use to buy with gold, which is acquired throughout the game. You can also sell stuff off. So, for example, some of these is fairly okay, but some of it's mediocre. And I'm probably best off just actually selling some of these. So let's just show you. There we go. So I'm sending a few things here and there. Now you might notice that the items here have level requirements, and of course, it depending on what level your character is, you can wear them or possibly even not wear them. As you can see, if we hover over this one here, this boot, we can see that it's red. So that means we can't actually equip it just yet. We need to be a higher level. So, how does the card elements work in this game? Well, you might have noticed that we've got some cards here on Mr. Zakdel. This was just a random name, I didn't put it in. I can actually edit the name. Let's do that. Let's put Fengferth. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So, Fengferth has got quite a lot of cards. Now, some of these are pretty good. Some of these are okay, and some of them are meh. How do you get these cards? Well, this is kind of where the action RPG side of things come to part. So, you actually get items throughout the game. You get it by completing adventures and opening chests. Now, each individual character has certain slots. So, as you can see, we have the warrior here, and he's got 3 weapon slots at the moment. Now, as you level up, you actually gain more slots. So this is not the entirety of the slots you can actually have. We've got a few things here. I have a wizard who has different slots. So as you can see, we have a staff. We have a few little items here. Got a robe, boots, and skills, and we also have a cleric or a healer. And she also has, is it she or it's just she? She also has a few other things like 2 weapons and armor and trinkets, etc, etc. So if we go to a piece of equipment, if we go to this club for example and right click it, you'll see some cards. So as you can see, we've got trained bludgeon here, which does fairly decent damage, and we also have lunging hack, which does fairly mediocre damage, but it's got some utility to it because it's got a step 1. Though we'll talk about this a bit more as we go on. So, this is also an uncommon weapon, so this is actually fairly good weapon at this level. You can actually find other ones, like this is a rare weapon. I believe it goes all the way to unique. Might be even better than that, but we've actually got quite a few common stuff as well. Now, common stuff doesn't really have very many good cards. As you can see, we've got really crappy rusty armor here, and just a normal war card. Don't worry, we'll go through all this if you don't quite understand. We'll go through it in time, don't worry. So, yeah, it's kind of cool that you actually get cards generated from what items you actually have, because it adds an element of added an element of customization to the game. So you need to think about, well, is this going to help me? So for example, I've got like a skill here, a martial skill, that gives me more damage when I use penetrating melee attacks. So have I got many penetrating melee attacks for this? Not really. I've only really got penetrating cut on there, and that's pretty much it. So unfortunately that's not really doing that much for me at all. In fact, you could say it's pretty worthless, and I'm actually wasting that. But you know, it's cool that you can mix and match because of this, so it's pretty damn nice. Now, there is a bit of a thing that I am kind of sort of, I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but because of how this works, how these cards just get automatically added to the deck, it does mean that when you're in battle, the chances of rolling a card that you need, actually drawing a card that you need, is actually a lot more minimal as you acquire more items. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword in that regard. And as you can see, I mean, there's no maximum deck size from what I can tell, and there's no minimum. So, you know, it's entirely dependent on what items you have. So yeah. Yeah, it's in full screen, but I can actually show you the options isn't actually too bad. Don't forget, this is a browser game as well. I probably didn't point that out. This is a browser game, which is pretty nice. So options got toggle full screen, quality, lighting, auto target, and the volume. Yeah, nothing fancy, but you know, it's kind of cool. Okay, so this is going to be, as far as I know, it's going to be free to play. However, you can actually you can have basically a membership kind of thing. So if we have a look at this joint, I'm not a member at the moment. But as you can see, it costs pizzas. Yes, pizzas is a currency in the game. Don't ask. The great thing, the kind of story in the game kind of revolves around pizzas, and it's pretty odd, but it's rather unique as well at the same time. It's pretty cool, and as you can see, there's like memberships here. Now, the great thing about being a member is that every single chest that you open, and believe me, you will open quite a few, you'll get an extra item that's usually of the same rarity, depending on what rarity you actually find in the first place. Gold is, as I said, it's in-game currency. You can also buy gold with pizza, and of course you can buy pizza. So yes, okay, so that's enough about that. Let's actually show you some of the actual gameplay. Now, I'm a level 5. All my characters are pretty much level 5. Now, I'm going to do a level 4 just to show you for the time being. So let's go here. Okay, now I've already completed this, but I can complete it again for experience and bonus loops. Now, there's a bit of a weird thing in the game where if you complete an adventure and you come to try and do it again the same day, it will be locked. You'll have exhausted it, and it will actually only refresh in a real life's day's time. So it's a bit weird in that regard. Anyway, right, so here's the game board. As you can see, there's squares, and these squares you can actually move. Now each turn, everyone will draw 4 cards. To start off with, you'll draw 3 cards. Start off with, and a movement card. Now, depending on your race, depends on what kind of movement cards you get. So all 3 of my characters are human. Humans tend to be very good all-rounders overall. And these have access to run. Now, run allows me to actually run quite a few squares, as you can see. Even though it says free movement there, for some reason I can move 4 there, which is kind of weird. But yeah. Now, if you're a dwarf, because you're being smaller, you actually have less movement, but you are a lot more sturdy, so you get more hit points. Elves are kind of the opposite. Elves are very graceful. Elves will move very fast. However, their constitution is rather weak, and they will take more punishment than normal. So indeed. So firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to play some trait cards. So these cards need to be played straight away. You won't actually get access to these cards very early on. You'll have to get some items first before you actually can play these. But what these will usually enhance your attacks or defenses. So for example, this one, for some reason didn't let me actually show you. This one's a trait and it attaches you to the character, which lasts for 3 turns. And at the start of each round, I can move 1 space and teleport him, which is kind of cool because you know the mage actually does need to stay very on his feet, which is kind of cool. Okay, and we have Healing Spirit for the cleric. Now this one is when you play a heal card, add 1 to the amount healed, which is really cool, considering that most of the cleric's abilities are healing or defensive or attacking or whatever. But you know. So right, let's get some things out there. So we're not in the best position here. I mean, we can't see our enemies at all. These are bastards. These have spears. Spears can attack from 1 to 2 squares, so we need to be careful about that. So I'm actually going to get Fengferth and bring him over here. Now he's in line of sight there to actually hurt him. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use chop. Do a lot of damage like that. I have a feeling that the animation's a tad bit fast, so let's just slow it down just a tad a little bit. There we go. So as you saw, I actually got attack there as well. So you take a turn, then the opponent takes a turn. Pretty simple, pretty standard stuff. And when you both pass, then the round ends. Now obviously all these cards I can play this turn. You know, there's no limit to how many cards you can actually play, as long as you can actually play them properly. So we're going to go for a stab here. That can attack from 2 squares, but of course you're right next to him, so it doesn't matter. Now I'm quite low on health here, and I could actually very easily die. So if I'm going to, which is this, attach to target, start of each round, heal to all adjacent. That's actually not that useful. That's unfortunate. So I am actually just going to attack with this. So I'm going to move 1 square here. That's one of the effects of this particular card. It allows me to step 1. It allows me to take a step before attacking. So that's what we're going to do. And there we go. Unfortunately we didn't kill him, and I'm quite low on health. So I'm going to get my mage. I'm going to move him over here. Now he's going to run to me. He's probably going to attack my mage, which is unfortunate. And we are going to finish off this dude. Stop telling me I know I'm in full screen. Bugger off. Little Zap. Now Little Zap has got a 2 range. Yeah, let's just show you. So this is the range of the cards. Just let me show that bloody audience, right? That's the range of your card, right? So it's got 2 squares, and that's how much damage it deals. So let's do that then, shall we? Let's do it on this. Kill him. Brilliant. Ah, I just got stabbed from behind. Also, positioning is important. If you get a hit from behind, there's more of a chance that you won't be able to block it. We haven't actually come across any block cards yet, but we'll talk about that a bit later once we do. And you actually take quite a bit of damage from that. So, yeah, positioning is very important. Now, I'm going to play Healing Presence on my mage here, even though he won't get healed from that because it's only allies around him each turn. But Fengferth should be able to move. Unfortunately, I haven't got a move card now, so Fengferth can't actually move this round. That's unfortunate. However, I can force cone this dude, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to force cone him back a little bit. Now he's passed, and we can still do quite a lot of stuff with our cleric. So let's bring her over here. Just get in position, and that's the end of the turn. So let's do that. Okay, so both end the turn. Now you can only have 2 cards at the end of each round per character. So if you've got more than that, you have to discard. Now this was the trade, that Dimension Traveller. I can now move my mage a bit, so I'm going to actually move him backwards, so he's out of range. Excellent. Now I've got to play this again. Trait cards always have to be played as soon as you get on, which is kind of unfortunate because I kind of wasted now because I've got 2 of the fuckers. But hey, that's life. So, Healing Blessing. So target heals 2 each round, duration 3, and may target self. So this is a cracking idea to put on him. That's what I'm going to do. Now, both of these guys are quite low on health, so I'm actually going to use my cleric to actually do some damage here. Predictable stab gets me. I'm going to use a simple strike. He gets another stab off. And I'm actually nearly dead, so I'm going to use Sap Touch. Now, this is a bit special. For each point of damage this attack deals, heal 1. So I should heal 2 from this. There we go. That actually did keep me alive, but there's a good chance I'm probably going to lose my cleric now. So I'm going to use Wavering Feint. Now, Wavering Feint is target discards there, I'll discard, and you discard your own discard. But he hasn't got any cards anyway, and that was a waste of a card, but sod it. So, can you see this this symbol here? That means it's visible to the opponent. Now, obviously, every single movement card that you draw, that you would normally draw during your turn, your opponent can see it. However, sometimes your items will have movement cards of their own, and your opponent can't see these. So this was a dash. Now this one allows you to move 4 places. So I've actually got 2 movement cards here, which is really nice. It means I can position a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move Fengferth over here. Can't really do nothing from there. I'm also going to move Timek here. Since he's got the healing presence, he'll heal both Fengferth and Carefield. Carefield? I need to pick better names for these. Now I haven't got line of sight here for Big Zap, unfortunately, so that's unfortunate. So I'm just going to end the turn here. Now I've got to discard, so I'm actually going to discard Ember Spray. I don't really need that. That might cause more damage and harm. I'm not going to move, so I'm just going to put him there. I'm just going to keep him there, and I can choose a direction to face. So I'm going to put face. There we go. Nice bit of healing done there. Thankfully, my cleric did manage to survive that. Now I've got minor healing, which heal 2 but may target self. Now I could use this to bait his last card. That's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to heal myself, and of course that heals me for an extra 1. And he's now moved. Now he's used a movement card. That was the one he actually wasn't revealing. So I now know that he can't attack me back, which is great. That means I can now run up to him and bash him 1 in the head. There we go, brilliant. Now I can zap him as well from here. Burning Finger. This is a cone burning duration. The only thing with this cone is that it might actually hurt my cleric. It might actually kill her. Doesn't look like it's going to though, because it's a cone. So let's do that. There we go. That was lucky. Okay. Now the range on this Big Zap is only 2, so we need to move. So let's move here. Now I've actually got some armor cards here, but unfortunately we haven't been able to show you what these actually do yet. So we'll probably do that next time. There we go, and we got a victory. Brilliant. So at the end of each level, you can't really call them level. Yeah, you can. No, at the end of each stage, no, it's just as bad as. Or and at the interval, you can collect loot. Now this means you open a chest, and we get loots. Brilliant. So as you can see, we've got Untrained Devotion, which is a level 3 common divine skill. So I believe that is for my healer, as you can clearly see that it's actually in green there, so I could equip it straight away. However, I prefer the Untrained Healer Healing Spirit trait, which is really good. So I'm just going to put that in my stash. And I'll go another one, which is great. So that's a waste, isn't it? Now, this is the club reward. This is what you would have got if you were to join the club. Now, sometimes they're roughly the same as that. Sometimes they're better. To me, it looks a bit random. But, you know. Anyway, on 4th. Let's carry on. Now we're going to the slime tunnels. Brilliant. Okay. So, where are we? We're surrounded here. Okay. Have we got any? We haven't got no traits. That's actually a good thing for the time being. Don't want to be wasting them. So I'm going to concentrate on killing this dude first. So if I have actually got a stab with this, so I'm going to move him here. Those are going to walk. I'm going to stab him. Stabby, stabby. There we go. He gets me, of course. Well, I'm actually going to put Healing Presence on this dude. There we go. Right. I should be able to use Lung Spark to do a bit more damage. Now he's going to stand by Cleric, which is not very nice at all. So we're going to move her there and use Sapphire on him. get some of that health back. Stop telling me it's in full screen. Oh no. Right, okay, so we've got Big Zap there as well. Now I can move him there, like so, and I can Zap. There we go. Now, and then really I can pass here as well, since I can't really do anything. I can't move really much because obviously I'm blocked. So if an enemy's near you can you normally run. I could usually run about 3 or 4 spaces, but unfortunately I can only move 1 because I've got an enemy right there. So, okay, I'm just going to pass. And there we go, next round. Right. Okay, so what we got here? Well, I can always sap touch again now. I've got a feeling that my cleric is probably going to die because she's flanked on both ends here, which is unfortunate. I could probably... oh, so this is actually a really nice... This is another trait card, but these are negative. You want to try and discard these as quick as you can, because as you can see, this one is at the start of each round, take 1 point of arcane damage, and of course you keep it. The only way to get rid of it, as I said, is you need to discard it, and you can't just discard it willy-nilly. You have to actually discard it via either ending your turn with more than 2 cards, or by a card effect. Now, I've got a choice here. I can either run towards him, or I could use lunging hack to actually get close to him and possibly finish him off. Now, it's not going to finish him off entirely because it only does 2 damage. So, what I might do is I might instead run to him using the mage. Now, he's actually moved towards me, which was silly. I'm going to use simple bash on him. That should kill him, like so. Now I'm going to use Sap Touch on this, get some of that life back. He's used Predictable Stab on me. Now, I could just lunge in at it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to move forward and give him a good taste of his own goddamn medicine. There we go. Simple strike, just do a bit of damage. Now that was an armour card, by the look of it. So hang on, let's just show you this. So always prevent all damage from crushing attacks, and you keep it. Right, so this is an example of one armor card. So obviously Black Ooze, crushing attacks, it just doesn't do anything to it because obviously it's got a jelly-like belly. So crushing is completely useless. I think this is crushing as well. Yeah, that's crushing. That's also crushing. Penetration should be okay. But yeah, I'm not really going to be able to damage him that much, in all honesty. So I'm actually just going to run here. He's for some reason gone over there. That's fine. Just cut in like that. There we go. Can't really do much else now, unfortunately. So I'm just going to end the turn. So this trait should be coming to effect now, and I take damage. Now that is an armor card. That is one that. Oh shit! It's just gone, hasn't it? Damn. There's no discard pile in the game. The cards just get shuffled back into the deck, so they obviously get reused. But that was an example of how armor works. So if you take some damage, you actually roll a dice, and depending on what it says on the lower left, if it says, for example, 4+, then you need a roll of 4 or higher. And if you get that, you can do what the card says. So, for example, that particular armor was to prevent 1 or 2 damage. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But it was to prevent some sort of damage. And because of that, it did mean that I actually prevented the damage being dealt to me. So armor's pretty important. Most of the time you do get to keep armor, but sometimes you don't. It completely depends on the actual card itself. Right. So what can we do here? Where's that sponge gone? Ooze. Not sponge. But hey. Right, we're going to use a lunging hack on the sponge. It's probably going to kill Fengferth, isn't it? Oh well. I'm going to use my bludgeoning on this dude. It can't block because it's got a back turn to me. And of course, Fengferth is now dead. Now, as you notice, there were stars there. So depending on what you've got to do, most of the time you just got to defeat the enemies, but there are some conditions where you need to kill a certain number of enemies or to hold a certain point, like say hold the flag or capture the flag or whatever. It's kind of cool actually. Right, so I could run and go for a little zap. I do want to get rid of that arcane thingy though, really. So what I could do here is I could run here and I could chop. Now this chop, actually it's 2 different targets. So it actually hit both here, which is pretty epic. It means that the lizard man will die. Unfortunately, I don't think I can kill him this round, so I'm not going to actually worry about bothering. However, I could get into a better position, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pass. I'm going to discard our feedback, so I don't actually get damage. There's 10. Now he's actually gone first and killed my cleric, which is unfortunate. However, I have enough spells now to completely obliterate him. That's exactly what I'm going to do. There we go. Brilliant, and that's victory. And again, we're on the intermission. And we get to open with a chest. Ah, brilliant, so we've got an uncommon item there as well. Sometimes you get crap loot like this, but you just sell it for a bit of coin. It's not usually not much. Reinforced hide armour, that's actually not bad. What's this? Hardy mail, mail and rusty armour. Hardy mail, unreliable hide. Do the hides disappear? No, they keep. Ooh, okay. I'm tempted to swap that out with that, actually. Possibly. Maybe not, actually. I'll see if anyone else needs it. They can only wear robes. She, on the other hand, yeah, she can. She only wears divine armour. It's heavy armour, apparently. Bollocks. Okay, no worries. I think we've already got a fit club, haven't we? Yeah. God damn it. Oh well, I'll be selling that later for lots and lots of gold. Okay, next one. Okay, is this a boss fight? I'm not sure. But anyway, I need to play a trait. Let's play the Dimension Traveller. Okay, so we've actually got a block card here. So block cards are a bit weird. They are not like armor cards. You don't keep them. However, you actually, if you actually get a roll, so obviously this triggers on a roll of 3, then as you can see, this it blocks any with damage 4 or less. So that would actually block all damage that if a damage source would deal 4 or less, which is pretty cool. It's only a weak block as well. There is other blocks, of course, that will block anything or any negative effects. But of course, that you don't keep them; they actually get discarded. So that's something to be careful of. Here we've got rusty armour. This I can show you a bit better. So this one's not a keep either, but on a roll of 4 or more, then it would actually prevent 3 damage. We've actually got a really weird hybrid card here. So this one is heal 4. My self-target. However, it actually deals 2 damage to start off with, so you only really get a heal of 2, sorry, with this card. However, if I was to use this on, say, my mage, then the rusty armour would probably roll, and if I got it right, I would actually get the full heal off that. The great thing about this particular heal is that it's got 8 range, which is really strong. Also, it can be used to actually kill someone if they've only got 2 life or less. So it's kind of an offensive card as well, which is really nice. Right, so what we're going to do here? Well, I'm going to pass actually and see how it positions his evil gremlins. Okay, so that was an effect card. Now what this does, entangling net, it bollocks to you. As you can see, target gains encumber 2 duration once. This lasts for a turn, and it encumbers me by 2, which means I can only move the amount of spaces that's less than 2. So that's unfortunate, really. But I can just move right here and give him a good bashing. Now that was a curse card. Whenever target character would take damage, that character takes an additional 3 damage of the same type. That is nasty. I don't have anything to counter that as well, unfortunately. But hey. Right, let's run to you. Let's try and protect you if I can. And we'll go with Simple Strike. And there you go, an example of that. Now, unfortunately, the entangle net still got me, which is unfortunate. Can we hurt anyone? No. Well, I could. Entangle net, yeah. I know. Okay, so this force cone would actually affect me as well, so that's not a good thing. Big disaster bombs, so I'll just go for that. And now I can stab him to finish him off. Now I'm going to use misguided heal on myself. Oh, I actually took more damage than I helped then. No, I'm not. About the same. I don't know. I need a minor heal. That was my own fault for not looking at the cards properly. So I've still got that stupid negative aura thing. Trait thing, whatever. Okay, let's move you a bit forward. Right. Bad luck. What's that? Attach to target. Whenever target rolls a dice, subtract 1 from it. That's for 2 turns. Healing presence. I'm going to stick it on Fengferth. Right. Sap touch. Run. Just be careful here because they could net me again. So I'm just going to run fairly close to this dude. And I'm going to ember spray might be a bit more useful if I was over there, wouldn't it? Fuck it, let's just ember spray it. I'll take a bit of damage now from that, so I'm not really too bothered. Okay, so Fengferth can come over here and not hit anyone because they moved very strategically. Sometimes it's best to wait until they move, but sometimes it's not. Oh, ow. That hurt. Bastard. Okay, I can't really do anything else. I could probably dash and use a force. Can't. Fuck it. Pointless at the moment. So I'm just going to keep passing until the enemy passes. Okay. Let's go. Can move this. Oh, let's move him. Yeah, let's move him. Took a bit of burn damage from the ember spray. Burning fingers. Cone. Don't want to really want to waste those, nor the force. Don't really want to waste those at all. So I'm going to try not to. Not going to move. I'm not going to move Fengferth yet. I'm going to wait until they've moved, and then I'll move with him. Until then, I'll just move with her. So she can sap touch him if she needs to, and give him a strike, like so. Okay, so they've moved. They've still got a few cards. Lizard Warriors. That's the Lizard Warrior, isn't it? No, that's Netta. That's a Netta. That's a cleric. Hang on. So where's the? He's dead. Oh, okay then. Fine. I'll get it. I'm going to run towards him. And hopefully he hasn't got to move. Looks like he hasn't. That's good. I can start shooting. Start with a weak shot. Penetrating cut. The bludgeoning. And another bludgeoning. There we go. He's dead. Excellent. Don't use burning fingers. Well, I could actually use burning fingers here. Don't really want to. I need to use some of these, otherwise I'm going to discard them, so sod it. Burn you. I might even just run over here and get close to him after he's netting me. That's fine. We're good. Right, I'll get rid of burning fingers. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit more closer. There we go. He's taking decent damage. Oh, we got fireball now. Brilliant. Burst and burning. What's burst do? Affects all characters with 2 of the. That's cool. And we got lung spark. Lung spark. We could probably use that straight away. Actually. Oh, I need to play a trait. There we go. Okay. So let's run towards this dude. And we'll simple strike him for free. He's now moved away. We can just spark him. There we go. He's trying to get away now. we shall run with... Oh, I've got entangling that one. With you. I can use my other run to get closer to him anyway. And then strike twice. Like so. It's possible that I could actually finish him off here if I got there and if I fireballed him. Oh, that's going to hurt me as well. Damn. That was a bit silly of me. Push him out of the way. And then I can dash back. There we go. Brilliant. Right. I took a bit of burn damage. You took a bit of burn damage. He's now trying to run away like a scared little girl. Okay. I'm going to run with her first. Try and bait him. Looks like I don't need to. He's only got one card anyway, so... Yeah. Thank God that actually went through. So, simple strike. And that's it. Brilliant. That's the adventure complete. Yay! And we actually get experience for completing our adventure, which is cool. Didn't get a lot because the adventure is lower level than us, which is unfortunate. And this chest should hold a bit more than it used to. Yes, we've got 4 items now. Uncommon, uncommon, and we would have had Witch Doctor's axe. It's actually quite a nice axe. Wow, shame. Well, what have we got here? Sorcerer's Bolt, Long Spark, Budget Bone. It's not brilliant. What's this? Untrained? No, that's not good. I've had that before. Turquoise Staff. Meh. And what's that? Grey Rapier. Has it got any piercing? It has got a few piercings. Able Stab, Predictable Stab. If this attack is blocked, you take 3 piercing damage. A couple of weak strikes. Might change that for my cleaver, possibly. 2 different targets, 2 different targets. Piercing, piercing, piercing. Any... Oh, it's any penetrating. Oh, I need to try and find piercing. Okay, that's cool. I'm just going to... Yeah, I'll stick it on that. There we go. I'll take the cleaver off. So, I'm going to have a quick look in the shop to see if we can actually buy anything that's worthwhile going. And possibly sell some of this junk that I don't need. So, I'm going to keep some of this high level stuff. The low level stuff, however, can just go bye-bye. Don't really need it. High level stuff will be useful later, so we'll keep that. Yep, we'll keep that. Keep. Sell. Keep. It's a new one, isn't it? Quick run. No. Sell. I'm not too sure what cantrips are. I haven't actually come across any cantrip cards yet, apart from that one. So I'm not too sure what it's about. And I think that will do for the time being. Not really too fussed about anything else. Right, so I want to find, I want to find a better trait actually. I want to find a better trait than that. So if we click on, this is martial skill, so we can filter through for martial skill, and it will give us a little bit of a rundown here. So as you can see, we've got the price there, and we've got the level requirement. And if you highlight over it, it does tell you if you can equip it or not. So as you can see, we can equip those 2 there, but we can't equip that one. We can equip that one, but not that one for some reason, which requires something. Right, so Slicer adds 1 damage to any chop. That's not brilliant. And it adds 2 damage to any bash. That's not bad actually. We've got quite a lot of bashing, haven't we? Crushing, slashing, piercing. That's a shame we don't actually have many. That's a shame. Okay then, guys. So this is Card Hunter. It's pretty cool. It really is. The only thing I can see from my only concern with the game as far is that because you do get locked out of a dungeon after you've completed it for a day. I spent a good 2-3 hours yesterday just playing this, and once I got to these 2 here, level 5 adventures, I was actually on these 2 for about 2 hours and I couldn't get past them, mainly just due to the fact that I was under equipped and just not prepare for it at all. And unfortunately, you can't go back and, you know, conquer these for more items and experience until the next day. So that looks like that's going to be a limiting factor in that. However, apart from that, as you saw, it's pretty cool. I haven't really seen any other games like it, with how unique it is that you actually use cards to move around and stuff like that, and do actions. It's really cool, and it's something to keep a little eye out for, guys. Really is. There is also a multiplayer. You can battle it out against other people, but I'm a pussy. Alright, and guys, I'll see you later.